Good evening, dear seeker. My name is Mr. James Candlelight, and I welcome you to this sacred space of rest. Tonight we climb to the highest peaks, where the air is thin and pure, where clouds gather below your feet, and where silence is not empty, but full of presence. We will visit the Monastery of the Eternal Dawn, a place so high that it seems to touch the sky itself, where monks have lived in contemplation for 1,000 years, seeking not answers, but deeper questions, not noise, but profound silence. There, you will meet Brother Theron, the keeper of the bell tower, who rings the dawn bells each morning and has learned that every ending is also a beginning. Every sunset promises a sunrise. This is a story about stillness, about finding peace, not by doing, but by being, about discovering that the answers we seek are often found in the questions we stop asking. It is a story whispered on mountain winds, written in morning mist, and held in the spaces between breaths. Before we begin our ascent, let us prepare ourselves with deep relaxation so your body can rest while your spirit climbs. Settle now. Be still. Let's begin. Imagine yourself at the base of a mountain. Before you, a stone path winds upward, disappearing into the clouds. You're about to climb, but this climbing requires no effort. Each step will take you higher while your body sinks deeper into rest. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and with each number, you will ascend the mountain while descending into peace. 10. Feel the earth beneath you. Solid stone, ancient and unmovable. Mountains have stood for millions of years. They know patience. They know stillness. Let their ancient peace flow into you now. 9. Notice your breathing, not controlling it, just observing. In, out, like the rhythm of the universe itself, like the breathing of mountains. Let each exhale release tension. Let each inhale bring calm. 8. As you climb higher, the air becomes clearer, purer. Feel your thoughts becoming clearer too, less cluttered, more spacious. You don't need to think so many thoughts. You can simply be. 7. The sounds of the world below fade away. The rush and noise and constant chatter. Up here, there is only wind, only breath, only the sound of your own heartbeat. Let yourself sink into this silence. It is not lonely, it is full. 6. Notice how light you're becoming, how easy it is to climb when you're not carrying burdens. What have you been carrying? Worries, fears, obligations. Set them down now. The mountain will hold them for you. You don't need to carry them tonight. 5. Higher and higher, but feeling heavier and heavier in a good way, grounded, settled, It's a paradox. The higher you climb, the more rooted you feel. This is the gift of the mountain, perspective and peace in equal measure. 4. The clouds are below you now. You've risen above them, above the fog, above the confusion. Up here, everything is clear, simple, essential. Breathe in this clarity. Breathe out complexity. 3. You can see the monastery now. Simple stone buildings, a bell tower, a garden. It looks like peace made physical, like silence given form. You are almost there, almost home. 2. Your body is so heavy now, sinking into perfect rest, but your spirit is light, free, ascending. This is the balance. This is the way. Body at rest, spirit awake, both at peace. 1. You have arrived. The gates open before you. As the story unfolds, you will walk these ancient halls, sit in meditation, and discover what the mountain has to teach. You are safe. You are welcome. You are home. And now we enter the Monastery of the Eternal Dawn. The Monastery of the Eternal Dawn sits at 14,000 feet above sea level, perched on a plateau so remote that it takes 3 days of climbing to reach it. No roads lead here. No helicopters can land in this thin air. The only way to arrive is on foot, one step at a time, with intention and commitment. Most people never make the journey. The world below is too loud, too busy, too demanding to allow for 3 days of walking towards silence. But some do. Some hear the call and cannot ignore it. You are one of them. You've been climbing for 3 days now. Your legs ache. Your lungs burn in the thin air. Your pack feels heavier with each step. But you keep going because something inside you knows you need to reach this place. Finally, as the 3rd day's sun begins to set, you crest the final ridge, and there it is, the Monastery of the Eternal Dawn. It's simpler than you imagined. No golden domes or ornate decorations, just honest stone buildings arranged around a central courtyard. A bell tower rises at the center, simple and strong. The whole complex seems to grow out of the mountain itself, as if it has always been here, will always be here. As you approach the gates, they open. A monk stands in the entrance. He's elderly, perhaps 70, with a shaved head and kind eyes. He wears simple robes, the color of earth. He doesn't speak. He simply bows and gestures for you to enter. You bow in return and step through the gates. The monk leads you across the courtyard in silence. You notice other monks moving about their evening routines. One sweeps the stone paths with a handmade broom. Another tends a small garden. 2 sit in meditation, facing the setting sun. None of them speak, but their silence isn't cold or unfriendly. It's warm, welcoming, complete. Your guide brings you to a small room, a cell really, just large enough for a sleeping mat, a small table, and a window that faces east. He gestures to indicate this is yours, then bows and leaves, closing the door softly behind him. You set down your pack and move to the window. The view takes your breath away. Mountains stretch in every direction, peak after peak, fading into the distance. The sun is setting, painting everything in shades of gold and rose and purple. You've never been this high before, never seen so far, never felt so small and yet so significant. You understand suddenly why people come here, why they climb for days, why they seek this silence, because up here, away from everything, you can finally hear, not words, not thoughts, but something deeper, something true. You're awakened before dawn by a bell, not loud or jarring, just persistent, clear, beautiful. Through your window, the sky is just beginning to lighten, deep blue fading to pale gray at the eastern horizon. You rise and dress, then step out into the courtyard. All the monks are already there, standing in silent rows, facing east. You join them, standing at the back, not sure what's expected. They simply stand, watching, waiting. And then it happens. The sun breaks over the distant peaks, and the world ignites with light. Golden rays spill across the mountains, turning snow to fire, illuminating clouds from beneath, transforming everything. It's so beautiful. You feel tears on your cheeks. The monks remain silent, but you sense their joy. This is why they're here, to witness this. Every single morning, the eternal dawn, the reminder that darkness always gives way to light, that night always yields to day, that endings always promise beginnings. After the sun has fully risen, the monks begin to disperse to their morning duties. The elderly monk who greeted you approaches. He gestures for you to follow. He leads you up a narrow staircase inside the bell tower. Round and round, higher and higher, until you emerge at the top. The bell hangs in the center of an open platform. It's enormous, bronze, covered in inscriptions you can't read, worn smooth by centuries of ringing. The monk gestures to the bell, then to you. You understand. He wants you to ring it. You approach the rope that hangs from the bell's clapper. You pull. The sound that emerges is unlike anything you've ever heard. Deep, resonant. It doesn't just fill the air. It fills your chest, your bones, your very cells. The note hangs in the thin mountain air, vibrating, slowly fading, but never quite disappearing, as if the mountain itself has absorbed the sound and is holding it, keeping it. The monk smiles. the first expression you've seen from any of them. He gestures to himself and says a single word, Theron. His name, Brother Theron. Then he gestures to you with a questioning look. You tell him your name. He nods, then speaks, his voice rusty from disuse but warm. Welcome. You are here because you needed to be here. The mountain called you. The dawn chose you. These are the first words anyone has spoken to you in 3 days of climbing. Why? You ask. Why did it call me? Theron considers this, looking out over the mountains. Everyone who comes carries a question, not always the same question, but always a deep one. What's your question? He asks gently, and suddenly you know. The question you've been carrying without realizing it, the question that drove you to climb for 3 days. How do I find peace? You whisper. How do I stop the constant noise in my head? How do I just be? Theron nods slowly. Ah, yes, the oldest question, the most important one. He sits on a stone bench at the edge of the platform. You sit beside him. I came here 40 years ago, Theron says. I was younger than you, angry at the world, angry at myself. My mind was so loud I couldn't sleep, couldn't think, couldn't breathe. I climbed this mountain planning to throw myself off it. You look at him, shocked. He meets your eyes calmly. It's true, I thought. At least at the top, I'll find silence, one way or another. But when I arrived, the abbot at that time, long dead now, he brought me here, to this bell tower, and he asked me to ring the bell, just like I asked you. I rang it, Theron continues, and I heard the sound, really heard it, not just with my ears, but with my whole being. And I realized the silence I was seeking wasn't the absence of sound. It was the space between sounds, the pause after the bell rings, the moment before the next breath. Silence isn't nothing. It's everything. It's the canvas on which all sound is painted. It's the space in which all life occurs. He looks at you. You can't make silence by running from noise. You can only find silence by being still enough to recognize it was always there. The peace you seek isn't something you achieve. It's something you uncover, like brushing snow away, to find the stone beneath. You sit with this, feeling the truth of it settle into your bones. How do I do that? You ask. How do I uncover it? Theron stands. Stay here for as long as you need. Days, weeks, months. The monastery welcomes all seekers. We'll teach you to sit, to breathe, to be still. Not because stillness is the goal, but because in stillness, you remember what you've always known. You are not your thoughts. You are not your worries. You are not even your name or your story. You are the awareness in which all of these arise. You are the silence in which all noise occurs. And once you remember that, you can return to the noisy world and carry the silence with you. It becomes unshakable. You stay at the monastery for 7 days. Each morning, you wake before dawn and stand with the monks to witness the sunrise. Each day, you learn to sit in meditation. At first, it's torture. Your body screams, your mind races, you want to leap up and run, but gradually, it becomes easier. Not because anything changes, but because you stop fighting it. You learn to watch your thoughts without following them, to notice your discomfort without being consumed by it. You learn the difference between pain and suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, born of resistance. You help with the daily chores, sweeping, cooking, tending the garden. You learn that meditation isn't just sitting, it's in every action, when done with full presence. You eat meals in silence, but it's not lonely. The silence is full of communion. You feel more connected to these silent monks than you've felt to most people you've talked with for hours. In the evenings, Theron sometimes speaks. Not lectures or teachings, but simple observations. Notice how the wind sounds different at night. Watch how clouds are born from nothing and return to nothing. Feel how the mountain breathes. Yes, it breathes. Everything breathes. On the 7th day, you wake before the dawn bell. You sit at your window, watching the eastern sky lighten. And for the first time, in as long as you can remember, your mind is quiet, not empty. You're aware of sounds, sensations, the coolness of the air, but quiet, still, at peace. And you realize this is what you came for. This is what the mountain wanted to teach you. That peace isn't somewhere else. It's not at the top of a mountain or in a monastery or in any external place. It's here, now, always available, always present. You just have to stop seeking long enough to notice it. That morning, after witnessing the sunrise, you find Theron at the bell tower. I think I'm ready to go back down, you say. He nods. Yes, I can see it in your face. You've found what you came for. Will I lose it? You ask. When I return to the noise, to the chaos. Theron considers this. You may forget sometimes. The world is loud and demanding. But you can always return to the silence, not by climbing a mountain, though you're always welcome here, but by closing your eyes, taking a breath, remembering. He places a hand on your shoulder. The mountain is not just here. The mountain is inside you. You carry it with you now. He reaches into his robe and pulls out a small bell. Not like the great bell in the tower, but a simple handbell, brass and worn smooth. Take this. When the world becomes too loud, ring it. Let the sound remind you. Let it call you back to the silence. You accept the bell with reverence. It's surprisingly heavy for its size. Thank you, you say, for everything. Thank the mountain, Theron replies. Thank the dawn. Thank the silence that has always been waiting for you. He bows deeply. You bow in return. And then you begin your descent. The climb down takes less time than the climb up. It always does. You move faster, lighter, changed. The world below comes gradually into view. First distant cities, then roads, then sounds, cars, voices, music. The noise increases with each step. But this time, you're not overwhelmed by it, because beneath the noise you can still hear it. The silence, the space between sounds. It's always there. You just have to remember to listen for it. 3 days later, you reach the base of the mountain. You turn back to look up at the peaks, now distant and cloud-wrapped. Somewhere up there, Theron is ringing the dawn bell. The monks are sitting in meditation. The monastery is standing, as it has for 1,000 years, as it will for 1,000 more. You touch the small bell in your pocket. Feel its weight, its promise. You can always return, not just to the mountain, but to the peace within. And with that knowing, you step back into your life, changed, quieted, whole. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself on that mountain. Feel the thin, pure air. See the endless peaks. Hear the profound silence. Know that peace is not something you have to earn or achieve or climb toward. It's already here, already within you, always has been. The noise of your life, the thoughts, the worries, the endless mental chatter, they're just sounds arising into silence, and you are not the sounds. You are the silence in which they arise. You are the space, the awareness, the stillness that remains when everything else fades. Let yourself sink into that stillness now. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to become. You are already complete, already whole, already at peace. The monastery sits on its mountain, bells ringing, monks meditating, dawn breaking eternal, and within you the same peace waits. Patient, infinite, always available. Just close your eyes. Take a breath and remember, you are the mountain, you are the dawn, you are the silence, and in that remembering, you are home. Breathe in, breathe out, rise like dawn, rest like stone. Be still, be here, be now. The eternal dawn breaks within you. Every ending is a beginning. Every breath is a bell ringing. Every moment is an invitation to return to silence. Accept it now. Rest, dear seeker. You have found what you were looking for. Sleep.